Hello and welcome back to Finance World. In this video we are going to explore more geometry topics, and in particular we're going to have a look at circles. So a circle is a shape that is a closed curve that consists of an interior and an exterior section. Let us define some basic terms commonly used when we are talking about circles. So the distance from the center, which we call the origin, is denoted capital O. Of the circle to the edge is called the radius, which is denoted as little r. And the distance from one edge to another edge of the circle that passes through the center is called the diameter, and that's denoted as a little d. And that's what this looks like pictorially. Now, we also have the perimeter of a circle that is actually given a special name that is called the circumference, and we denote that as a capital C. And this has actually a very special relationship with the diameter of the circle. So let us now introduce a very important mathematical constant, which is called pi. Note, you will not derive this constant at GCSE or A levels. You will simply be introduced and you will just end up using this mathematical constant. So the ratio between the circumference and the diameter is this mathematical constant pi. Okay, so whilst we have the ratio between the circumference and the diameter, it's actually more useful to use the radius. Now you know that the radius should be 2 times the radius is the diameter. So you can actually rewrite that as pi is equal to the circumference c divided by 2 pi 2r. By rearranging it, you have the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So the next thing we're going to explore is the area of a circle, commonly known as the area of a disc. That is because a circle is more commonly used to refer to the boundary of the disc, and that does not cover any area. So the area, denoted as capital A, can be calculated as pi multiplied by r, which is pi r squared. And again, you do not need to prove this at GCSE and A-level mathematics. However, if you do wish to look into it, there are many proofs that you can research, such as Archimedes' proof using triangles, and many other variants of a proof to calculate the area of a circle. Now we also look at an equation of a circle. So in Euclidean geometry, the third axiom is to describe a circle with any center and radius on graph paper. So that means you can put any circle onto this bit of graph paper and you can derive an equation that describes this circle. So that means this particular circle that we draw on this bit of graph paper can actually have an equation for this. Let us start with the most simplest case, which is a unit circle. What is a unit circle? The most simple form of an equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. Now, if you have x squared plus r squared is equal to 1, that means you're having a radius of 1 for the circle. This is known as the unit circle, and that looks like this on a bit of graph paper. So, what can we observe by looking at this? You have the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 1. From this, you can see that the origin of 0, 0 is the center of that circle, and the radius is positive 1. That's because if you take the square root of 1, you can have positive 1 and negative 1. We know that length can only be a positive number, hence we only need to consider the positive square root. So there is still more topics to come in geometry. We will explore an equation of any arbitrary circle that is plotted on a bit of graph paper. We will also introduce some theorems around circles. We'll also have a look at radians and degrees, and we'll have a look at angles and trigonometry. We'll also start to look at calculus and some first principles in calculus. We will also have a look at infinitesimal calculus. Once we've covered some of these basic topics, we will then revisit some algebra. We will start to look at solving more complex systems of simultaneous equations, and we'll also have a look at some special cases of quadratic equations. If you like this video and the content that I've delivered, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be producing more of this type of content. Hopefully will eventually lead into more deeper mathematics, and we'll also have a look at physics as well, and eventually we'll also have a look at some finance related topics. Okay, so that's it for this video. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please stay safe during this pandemic. Thank you.